Hey, this show's presented by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com/dangle to receive 20% off your next purchase. And let's start the show.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Powered by Sports Interaction. Canada's Sportsbook.
SDP. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
I just can't believe it. I can't believe that Jesse Blake of the Jesse Blake Sports Report, who's claiming the Arizona Coyotes had a playoff spot stolen from them by the Colorado Avalanche in the latest episode that came out yesterday.
He's right. But
Yes,
why?
I am right.
I can't believe that Jesse Blake, who wants to be a GM...
It's an argument for the NHL to go to wins and losses as opposed to the point system that they currently have. That's what it is.
I'm into it.
I don't know. Would you listen to a podcast by a guy who claims to be a GM in NHL 23, has never won a cup, and thinks Ville Husso is good?
Yep, Ville Husso, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, neither won a cup. GM's never won a
Ville
cup.
Husso has won a cup.
No, not in video games. He hasn't.
No, he sure hasn't. No.
You know?
So,
what else?
I don't know.
Oh, you fired Jason Spezza after less than a season?
Yeah, midway through the
As
season.
the captain,
You're
you
garbage.
fired
No,
him.
he was an awful head coach.
You're garbage. You're an awful general manager.
Man, Ville Husso showing up and just letting Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews... you know what? I think Ville Husso did Mitch Marner a favor and just said, you know what? Well, you go ahead and extend your point streak.
You
Mitch.
do it.
You go ahead. I
You
don't
do
mind.
it. You didn't get one in the first? Well, Mitch, you're losing your touch. Here's one.
Why don't we talk about how
No.
you guys
So
are
Ville
bullies?
Husso
Ville
is
Husso
really
is what we're
bad.
talking
Why don't we talk about how you guys are bullies?
Wow.
What do you mean?
I don't appreciate all the abuse I took online.
Really?
I think like you guys pushed me to the brink of deleting my account.
Wow.
Yeah?
It was,
Wow.
there was a lot of cyberbullying, and why can't people enjoy things?
I just don't know why you can't accept the facts. I haven't seen a goaltender play that bad since Martin Jones's career.
It's
bad.
I think you're bullying me.
So we're gonna continue the bullying in person
Yeah,
now.
why can't people enjoy things? Why can't I enjoy the Leafs lighting up Ville Husso?
You can.
Why are you yucking my yum?
You can enjoy that, just not at my expense. I think that it's very it's unlike you guys to be bullying somebody so relentlessly. I thought we had a better ethos for the show, that we were like supporting people.
Does that
and we
make-
were about positivity?
Does that make your goaltending picks good?
No one, you're
No.
distracting from the issue here,
No.
and that is that I didn't have a good time online because of you guys.
Listen, Adam and I are not the Villy in here.
That's right.
You see, because
But Steve, Husso is.
high five. Love that.
All right.
Love that
All
for
right.
us. Hilarious.
I don't support bullying, but my co-hosts, it looks like they do.
Mitch Marner could tie
First of all, co-CEOs.
Mitch Marner could tie the Maple Leafs record of consecutive games with at least 1 point tonight against the San Jose Sharks and join Daryl Sittler and Eddie Olczyk with runs of 18 games. Sittler did it in 77-78. Eddie Olczyk, who a lot of people forget was a Leaf, 89-90.
Edzo. And he's got a really good chance to do it tonight because they're playing the Detroit Red Wings again. Oh no, it's the Sharks.
Yeah.
It's the Sharks.
Yeah.
So should we stop?
It would have been nice. It would have been nice if
think
James
so.
Reimer was in net tonight.
It would have been
Is it
nice.
Capo Kakkonen?
It's Arundel.
Oh!
Is it actually Aaron Dell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Arundel's starting.
Well,
tonight.
congrats, Mitch.
I hope so.
Congrats.
Was Arundel not a Leaf? like a minute?
Technically, he wasn't. So he was. Aaron Dell had one of the most interesting tenures as a Leaf ever. They signed him. People were like, "Hey, so like you're going to be the Leafs' third stringer," and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to be the third stringer. I want to be the backup." Which was a wild thing to say because the Leafs had Frederik Andersen and Jack Campbell at the same time when he said that. And then he was noticeably bad in a blue and white game, which I didn't know you could do. And then he got claimed off waivers. I've never seen someone perform so badly in an intra-squad game
Really?
that no one wanted them, except for the Devils. And I
signed
think we might have a glimpse into why the Devils used to be really bad.
How long?
They wanted to upgrade their goaltending by getting Aaron Dell.
How long was Arundel's tenure as a Leaf? He signed on October 13th, 2020.
So intra-squad... Oh, wait. So then he would have been a Leaf at least till January, right? Because 2021 season started in January.
Oh, that's
but
right.
But training camp would have been mid-December. So he was a Leaf for like 3 months?
I'm going to say
2.5?
91 days.
I don't know the days. But Adam, that is very good thinking.
Whew.
It was a bit of a trick question because the season did begin in January.
I was going to say 2 weeks.
And on January 17th, Arundel was placed on waivers.
Almost 3 months. That's great. I have to say, you guys, those were dark days. And I remember doing that standing up. I did the podcast standing up in those days from my apartment that Steve never saw.
Never.
But it had the exposed brick that I had always asked for and always wanted.
And a fridge with Cholula and nothing else.
Remember that fridge?
I sure
Good
do.
Fridge. It was a nice fridge. It was just empty.
He gave us a tour.
And a Ferrari car
I had a Ferrari car bed.
because he was divorced.
And a tape called "Can I Borrow a Feeling?" It's just Adam singing.
Here, call my phone.
Call your phone?
Call my phone.
No way!
Call my phone.
You are kidding.
Hold on.
There's no way this is about.
I'm
to
not
happen.
surprised. Hang on.
I
Jesse,
am.
bring that up.
Jesse.
Just try to-
Can I borrow a
Thinking you
feeling?
call my phone.
I'm trying, but it's just slow. 'cause
Oh
I have-
my god.
Here we go. I'm calling.
Oh damn it! I think I.
You suck. You bunch of boomers.
This fell
You're
flat.
garbage.
Do it one more time. Do it one more time.
All
I
right.
pressed the button.
I got it.
I love that. Wait, is this?
Is this your ringtone for everybody or just me?
Everybody. This is also your picture.
See, if it was, if it was just you, it'd be funnier. Get it? Because he's divorced.
It would be funny if it was just that. but
wonder
that's
you're-
just my ringtone.
Man, if that's my picture when I call you, no wonder you always pick up laughing. You're always like, "Hello, Adam Wilde." I'm like, "Jesse, you sound very chipper
yeah,
today." And he's just looked at me and I look like a
do the
thumb.
face.
Mine
That's
is
my face.
Mine is
good Adam
you
Wilde
missing
face.
a tooth from the hockey tournament.
That's right. With Kenny, I think, right? Or is it just me?
No, it's just you.
Okay.
You're like,
My picture for you, Steve, is the one of you in the coat.
oh, you
Your
bastard.
thumbs up sonnet coat.
Mine is you gave the camera a dirty look.
That makes me laugh every time.
You know what? I got paid to go to a hockey game, so you shove it. You take that picture where I wore a bulky winter coat with a jersey over it.
I like the other one
Why?
that was like Steve's like at a door and he just is like he's just to the side.
Yeah, that's where you have the lanyard on.
Yeah.
And it's the mother of the show, Sandra, took that photo.
That's
did
right,
she
Sandra
not?
Cormier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was wearing a golf shirt that was way too big because that's all I was given for the trip. And
Those was the caps, right?
Is that what you're watching?
no, that was
Washington? No.
we
Ottawa?
went to Ottawa for Canada's World Cup camp.
Oh.
Canada's World Cup of Hockey camp.
Wow. Remember when that happened? That one time?
Yeah, and never again. No, the best tournament held every 9 years, like Mortal Kombat.
It's the highest quality hockey in the world. It's the most
my
prestigious
God.
tournament, if you ask the
According to
NHL.
liars.
Yeah. What do we want to talk about really with the Detroit game? Because it seemed like, honestly, Detroit was outplaying the Leafs and probably should have. If the talent was equal, Detroit wins that game to me. But I don't think they had a great night from their goaltender. I don't think they have the talent the Leafs do and the finish and the explosiveness that the Leafs do. And they're a team on the up.
They're a team on the up. I think the Leafs might have played a little bit better if, they had to, if it was a bit more of a back and forth game, but it wasn't. They were winning almost
Except for right
the
at the
whole
beginning.
time, except for right at the beginning. Listen, that's not the best way to defend a lead. I think we know that.
Yeah.
Detroit can score.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised that they outshot the Leafs, but I'm not surprised the Leafs won.
The third period looked like Iran playing the United States, where they're just playing for a draw, and the
Dude.
Leafs are just trying to run out the third period
Yeah.
there and just hold on.
19-6 were the third
Yeah.
period shots.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't feel competitive. It felt like they're just skating around trying to get laps in, waste this 20 minutes.
So are we at a place, because I got asked a question in my LFR video. Are we relaxed with Matt Murray and net? Because my answer is I've been relaxed for a little bit, I think.
Matt Murray has been very good.
Yeah.
Also, Elias Samsonov's back.
Yes.
That
I
came
don't
down
know
today.
if he's playing tonight. I think it's Murray tonight.
Yeah, but he's back and healthy. But Matt Murray has been very good, which is a revelation that I don't think anybody really anticipated.
Dude, I didn't realize until I looked it up like last week. I had forgotten that the Sens paid assets to get rid of him. They retained salary and gave up a third and a seventh, which are Dubas's favorite picks.
Kevin Papetti
hates a first rounder. Loves a seventh. Oh, cannot stand when he doesn't have enough
Won't
sevenths.
take a fifth though for Hyman. Not for that.
Bullshit.
No way.
His favorite pick, the 38th pick in the draft.
Yes.
When he trades back that first.
Man,
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
I want 38 and 47.
Oh, yeah.
Dubas's favorite picks ranked. Number 1, give me the 38th overall pick. Number 2, give me any 7th rounder.
Honestly, if we ever had him on the show, I wouldn't ask him hard-hitting questions.
No.
I want to talk to him about quirks like that. Like, okay, so Dubas
What's wrong with you?
You got a late round first. Yeah. How many seconds can you trade down for?
Yeah, why are you the way you are?
Yeah. I think we just ask him fun
I want to
questions
ask
like
him
that.
about his office.
I want to ask him about his office.
Is he satisfied with it?
It's a dungeon. Call Shanny. You saw Shanny's office when John Tavares was given the captaincy. It's this like mahogany, beautiful, condo-sized office that grandeur as you walk in that befits the Toronto Maple Leafs and their 6 years of history. I don't know. I think it's 105 years.
Around there.
Yeah, something like that.
You sound like Creature talking about the Malfoys.
Yeah, well, it's what it is. And then it's like, Dubas, you can have the basement. You can have these cinder blocks. We painted them blue for you, though. Lucky you.
Now, was that his office at, what do they call it now? The one in Etobicoke? Because it's not MasterCard anymore.
Ford Performance Center.
I always forget. Is that was his office at Ford,
yes.
right?
And everybody says to me, well, how come you're giving him such a hard time? It's just the practice rink. Because it's the Leafs, and they have the money.
That's okay.
Come on, guys.
The whole thing
they gave him a whiteboard and an IKEA desk.
It should be made of marble.
Yes.
And be lit by a chandelier that only contains candles. It should look as evil as possible.
And it should have something that Conn Smythe said that is probably a little out of context, but like, through these doors walk the greatest minds in hockey.
In
something
hockey,
like that.
And win, and it's time to win.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see his office at the ACC, or Scotiabank. I'd like to see that one in comparison. You know, maybe that's his big one. He's okay with the dungeon at the practice facility. You know,
the Conn Smythe quote, I want you to make a trophy in my honor that players receive and then immediately hand to someone else so that they can get the trophy they actually want.
I think maybe he didn't want us to see that office is because he wanted to be more relatable. You know, like some people won't need to hide their wealth.
Too high.
And he wants to be the everyman.
That much
Kyle Dubas, the everyman.
I think that is made up. I
also get my clothes from J. Crew.
I just figured out something that I want.
What?
I want a picture of the office that he had from the Sioux, and we're going to compare. I bet they're the same. Oh my God. There's a video on YouTube.
Is there?
Oh my God. We can actually find this out. Okay. That'll be the investigative journalism we do after the show.
Okay. Last question I want to ask Dubas. Which executive assistant is in charge of making the nameplates for his player board, where he's always switching the lines and
Brandon
lineups? No,
he's not an executive assistant.
Yeah, no. I just picture him like Dwight
doing everything,
going around,
assistant to the assistant.
Yeah. I like that.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, one day Shanny played a prank on him, where he put a nickel in his phone every day to make it a little heavier, and then he took them all out, so he whacked himself in the face with the phone. Hilarious prank! One's ever done.
How soon after Connor Timmins is a member of the organization do they make a little magnetic plate with his name?
Oh, it's made. It's already made.
Oh, instantly?
He's made, yeah.
He joins the team, and somebody makes a little metal plate?
Before they even put the trade call into NHL Central Registry, they're like, get those fucking plates. And because they're talking, remember, it's probably not even somebody that's paid, somebody who's like an intern. Like, hey, little intern guy, get out there and make a magnetic plate. Otherwise, you're buying sandwiches for the entire office.
They're very impressive.
Fire up the press.
That's right.
They're magnetic.
That's what I mean.
Extra level of just printing something out.
And I bet they have a person for that.
And they have to have standards because it's got to have it's got to be a certain amount of magnetic, I believe is the scientific term, because he's got to be able to lazily throw it at the board and have it stick like Brad Pitt in Moneyball. He's just got to go. Hatterberg, whack! And it just hits the board and sticks.
Giambi.
Whack!
Yeah.
Whack! And it just lands right where it's supposed to land. Whack!
No, do
He
it with
gets on
Leafs.
base. He crosses the
Do it
blue
with
line.
Leafs.
Whack!
Do it with Leafs.
Do it with the Leafs.
Make the deep airings.
All right.
All right.
First, we got Giordano Hall. And this is where you're supposed to go, no, it doesn't. He's 39 years old. He can't do it anymore. I don't even know what to say. The second pair, we got Rasmus Sandin and Timothy Lillard. Oh, Rasmus Sandin doesn't know a zone exit from a hole in the ground. He doesn't know what he's doing. Our third pairing. Whack! Victor Mete and Mac Hollowell. Christ alive, Kyle! Just because one of them played for the Sioux, they're both 5'9", for Christ's sake! And then they win the World Series.
Who's the other guy?
Why? Because he gets over the blue
Who's
line.
the other guy?
Because the Dubas is the whack. Who's the Brandon Britto? Is that
It's some fired guy. They're fired now because their ways. Oh, that's not today's ways. That's the old ways.
No.
Can't have that. Yeah, lots of money.
Dave Morrison? Was it Dave Morrison?
Lots of money puck.
Dave Morrison, the guy that their former head scout.
Oh,
Would that be him? What was his name?
Dave Poulin?
No, Dave. It was like a Morrison. I thought.
No.
And they let him go a couple years ago.
Some guy.
It was Gord Stellick.
Gord Stellick.
Yeah. No, he'd be sitting there. He's contractually obligated to have a microphone in front of him wherever he goes.
Of course.
He's
yeah.
still a consultant with the team, is he not?
Gord Stellick? No.
I don't think so.
No. He's a broadcaster.
Outside
I think
counsel.
he works for Sirius XM now.
Outside counsel.
Yeah. Can you imagine what Gord Stellick's magnetic board would have looked like? It would have just been like, walk into Harold Ballard's office, cruelty, whack. Underpaying people, whack. No benefits, whack.
Xenophobia.
Yeah. Anti-feminism, whack.
Whack.
Times have changed, thank God.
All I want in the world is to see Kyle Dubas lazily flick a magnet at that board and have it stick. By the way, I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Matt Murray.
We are?
We were.
Yeah,
supposed
Okay,
to be.
Matt Murray.
How good
Former
he is.
Sioux Greyhound.
Kevin Papetti had a tweet about Matt Murray and Nikita Zaitsev, and he said what's interesting about where the Leafs and Sens are has a lot to do with two players that have been at both organizations and the contracts they signed. You know, it's the fact that the Senators still have Zaitsev, the fact that they had Murray and let him go. Those are major parts of why they are where they are. Now they have no defense on the Senators, but it's sort of a. I mean, listen, has Matt Murray even played 20 games yet?
Oh my God, not even close.
No.
I don't think he's hit 10.
So he's looked
the
great.
Leafs themselves have barely played 20 games.
Yeah, so he's looked great. But I do want to say that like he played 20 games for the Senators last year and looked good.
Hey, 22.
22. So let's let him get to 22.
Yeah,
And then
let's
make a
not
comparison.
rewrite the history.
I
of
just
the
think
Matt
he looks
Murray
good
deal.
so far.
What I'm not liking. Okay, there's two brands of Leaf fans saying the same thing. One of them's wrong, one of them's right. One of them is saying Matt Murray is great, and I always knew he was going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And those people are kidding, and I respect those people because they're trolling. Then there's the camp that said Matt Murray's great, and I knew he was going to be great, and they're being serious, and I want them all to take a seat and shut up because no, you don't genuinely believe that. Stop that. Yes, he won 2 cups with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay, let's get John Tortorella on staff. Let's get Randy Carlyle. Let's get every guy who's ever won a cup ever.
So here, what I said,
Dude, it's been a long time since he was good in the National Hockey League consistently.
a couple of years ago when he was going to be available randomly, I was like the Leafs should take a chance on him, and then he went to Ottawa and was promptly shite. And then I went. This summer was like, oh my God, I don't know.
Oh, dude, I was terrified.
Yeah, but it's great.
And then his first game wasn't great, and I got more terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got injured for a month, came back, and apparently the recipe for success is get injured for a month, and you'll come back even better than ever.
Well, let's hope the same is for Samsonov. Robertson, by the way, in white jerseys yesterday at practice, which means he probably is playing today.
Oh my God!
Don't have the lines yet, but could be playing.
This is such a weird thing because the Leafs, all they're doing is winning.
Yeah.
And they're tied for third, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are complaining about the 13th forward not getting enough
I mean, he shouldn't be the 13th forward, Steve. Let's not diminish that.
I agree, but it's bizarre that usually teams that have that as a storyline are not good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, this guy should be getting a crack in the top 6, and this other player in the top 6 is useless. Well, usually teams with players in the top 6 who are useless don't do well.
Right.
And it's just really weird that the Leafs are consistently.
I think we've reached the point of the season, which is every November, where the Leafs are so good that there's not a lot to complain about because they start off really poor and then they do something so extraordinary that the really poor part of the season doesn't matter anymore. This is what exactly happened last year, and it's happening again.
That's not supposed to be a brand.
It is, though. It's mirroring last year. They were 15-2 and I think 1 in that stretch after their awful start.
But we don't want them to mirror last year. They didn't win anything.
So we want them to mirror it up until the losing part.
Right? Well, that's hard. That's so, I don't know, what is it? Bad month, good month? Is it going to be a tough Christmas there, Jesse?
I think there's a lot of evidence here that the Leafs will be better than last year because last year they did everything in spite of their awful goaltending. If we brought up the stat so many times, but outside of the first 2 months of the season, the Leafs had under 900 goaltending.
That's wild.
I don't think we can project them to once again have that abysmal amount of goaltending. I think it'll be a little better. We've seen how Matt Murray's played. That Samsonov is coming back. He's healthy.
And he was great.
He was great as well. Erik Källgren has proven that he can hold down the fort for if one of them goes down again. And I think we can get above 900 goaltending, and the Leafs should have a better rest of the season than they did have last year, unless they want to resort back to their first month of the season.
Källgren's terrible. Källgren has numbers comparable to Campbell after November.
I want to save this. I was going to save this till later, but I'll bring it up now. Pierre LeBrun for The Athletic on Jack Campbell in Edmonton. So far, his transition from Edmonton to Toronto has been nothing short of a disaster. His .875 save percentage is 54th among NHL goalies who've appeared in at least 7 games this season. Only Kaapo Kähkönen at an .871 and Elvis Merzlikins at .864 have been worse. Those are some names, eh? Kähkönen was big potential guy. Elvis Merzlikins has had great runs.
Elvis Merzlikins is a goalie with a good track record on a bad team, and Kaapo Kähkönen is a emerging goalie on a bad team.
Markstrom didn't become Markstrom until he was like 27 or 28, and he was always highly touted, even in the NHL games where he had like a 97 potential.
Yeah, and then, oh no, was it him? Yeah, it was him. When I did Be a Pro honestly, and I got drafted. I got drafted by the Florida Panthers, and we were really bad. But it's okay because Jake Markstrom took over the net from Scott Clemenson until my GM traded Markstrom straight up for Cal Clutterbuck. I lasted 1 season and actually no, it wasn't.
Were you playing
even
on very hard or something? What were you playing on?
I was playing like it was competitive, and like we lost in the first round,
right?
And like so, I wasn't just running roughshod over the NHL, and I was like, all right, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to give it an honest try. And I think I got to Christmas and I said, that's enough. Going to play for the Leafs.
Did you request a trade?
I think that was before you were able to do that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just you were on the team that you were on.
Yeah, unless you're a free agent or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I would trade me right fucking now. Trade me right fucking now. I definitely would have been slapshot about it. But where did we? Huh?
I know.
Markstrom.
San Jose Sharks tonight. I think they beat the Leafs earlier this year. Did they not?
They sure did in overtime.
That road trip, that awful
that was
little
a bad
road trip. Yep.
So
and then since then they've been awesome.
So
ridiculous. San
Jose has been a bit of an enigma because bad, but also Erik Karlsson good.
They have good parts.
They sure do.
Karlsson's absurd. Timo Meier, who's my top
future Leaf, Timo Meier.
Yeah, Leaf trade target, and also the red hot Logan Couture, who hasn't had the best season, but he's had one of the best last 2 weeks. Just can't stop scoring. So they got parts.
The QO for Mr. Meier, by the way, $10 million.
That's his QO?
That's the QO.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know. Should we spend a moment on that? Because a lot of people have been tweeting that at me. So basically, I want the Leafs to go after Timo Meier. He has an expiring contract, but as Jesse pointed out, and I didn't know this, he's an RFA, not a UFA. And his qualifying offer is $10 million. Now, just because his qualifying offer is $10 million doesn't mean the Sharks or the Leafs or wherever he is traded to have to give him $10 million a year. It's just $10 million to sign him to 1 year. You could say, Timo, how about we give you 6, 7, 8 times 8 or whatever. Give him a contract somewhat comparable to Roope Hintz or whatever. I think he'd take it. Yeah, I'll take $64 million, right? And that way you're not paying him $10 million for 1 season of service. Just because that's what someone's qualifying offer is, doesn't mean you have to pay him that. It's basically just a more clear path to unrestricted free agency for him.
Right.
But like no one, I don't think anyone would be dumb enough to just let him walk.
No, I don't think so.
You would very least trade his rights
rights
for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. A conditional something.
Yeah, and listen, if you win, who cares? In fact, if you're Leafs, you win a round or 2, and he walks. Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. I guess we'll have to do it again with another player next year.
There's the standard, huh?
Well, I mean, I think so. The Leafs have been playing great lately. The last 10 games, 7-1-2. Boston.
That's so silly.
Has been 9-1-0. And that one is against the Leafs. And by the way, Boston has not lost at home yet. They are 13-0-0. They beat Tampa last night 3-1. Stamkos did get a point. He's a point away from 1,000. But the Boston Bruins are the unstoppable force.
Like we all predicted. Dude, I said they would have a special magic to them this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it would be more of a gritty dogfight, a slog up the standings. They're just playing with their food.
Yeah. Their goal differential already?
Can I guess?
Yes.
47.
40.
Damn.
Still pretty good in 22 games. And that means you're outscoring your opponent by at least 2 goals every game.
That's so
in 22 games. That's insane.
Stupid.
And I want to say this. I hope this happens. If the playoffs started today, Boston would play Pittsburgh, so it would be gold and black versus black and gold, which I'd like. But I also don't feel like Pittsburgh stands much of a chance in that. However, playoff Crosby and Malkin, things can change, right?
Yeah.
Imagine Bergeron v. Crosby, Krejci v. Malkin.
Where's their last chance or last dance vibe? Like, I think
it's 3 years away.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's now.
I know those guys are locked up, but like, also, what do you think you're going to be better next year individually? Like Crosby, Malkin, Letang, I can fairly confidently say next year's version of them won't be as good as this year's version of them. That's how time works. Not everyone's Joe Pavelski, although
pretty good.
They could be.
Though if I'm going to give it to anybody to be Pavelski, it's those 3.
Even he's falling off a bit.
Yeah.
And the Stars can afford that because they have everyone.
I want to catch up with the Stars in a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't go too far.
No.
Also, how wrong were we about the Bruins firing their head coach?
Oh,
bringing in Jim
wrong.
Montgomery seems to work wonders.
Yeah,
the way they did it. Also, we can criticize because you did it in the guy's living room.
Yeah,
after he went to the washroom.
No, like still fuck them for doing that. Like, okay,
but it was the right call.
Bruce Cassidy's doing just fine with Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, you can bring in a new coach and winning solves everything. You didn't have to tell the guy he's safe and then go to his house and then fire him in his house. You just didn't need to do that. And look at how much of a world-destroying team this is. And then they did the stupid Mitchell Miller thing. And we all thought the same thing. They're losing this game tomorrow night. And then they did. And it was the last time they lost. Or no, second most recent time they lost. I think they lost 1 game since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, dude, they're not going to finish this season 70-12.
Yeah.
But I don't.
It would be fun to see that in the NHL, though. Like Golden State Warriors 2018 type season from an NHL team.
But like you look at teams that do this in sports, they have they're an all-star team basically. Detroit a few years ago, I can't remember how long ago, where they won I think 62 games. That's the closest hockey equivalent I can think of. And then you look at the Golden State Warriors, like, yeah, they were an all-star team. They could have played the all-star team like the old style, where you had the league all-stars versus the champions.
Right.
2016, I believe.
Was it 2016 with the Golden
And then
State?
they didn't win.
2016, they lost, and then 17-18 is 2 back-to-back with Durant,
Yes.
and then 19 is Raptors.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's how you work back from the Raps.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
And then I still love that we get to look back on that.
Oh, yeah.
That's so nice.
But like, I guess the coaching, because sometimes in the NHL, when you change coaches and all the parts are the same, the coaching magic works. The guys just need a kick in the butt, and it works.
Or it's just a really good culture.
Mhm.
Like in that room, obviously, I still think it's pretty incredible the Bruins did what they did. And I've never seen the hockey community so united in this is Bruins management. This is
The players.
the team. You know what? Kind of like The Last Dance.
Yeah.
No one liked the Chicago Bulls management.
Yeah.
Everyone liked the Chicago Bulls players.
Yep.
Kind of similar in that regard.
Who was that guy? Who was the GM who wore his belt around like his shoulders? Got his pants up to his nipples. I'm like, has no one told him yet? No one. You're on the most famous team in the world, and like you dress like that, man. Come on, now.
Jerry Krause?
Jerry Krause.
Yeah.
Jerry. He dresses like a press man from the 1930s. It's just wild. Also, I want to talk about Steven Stamkos for a second here because Steven Stamkos will get at some point here. Steven Stamkos will get his 1,000th point.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm requesting from Steven Stamkos. I
First
request
to be on the power play.
I request that it be a goal, and I request that it be in Tampa's next game. And the reason I request that is he is currently sitting at 944 games played, guys.
Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
He has 949 goals. Sorry, 494 goals, 505 assists for 999 points. So it could his 1,000th point could come in game 945 for goal 495, assist 505, and 1,000 points. You want that for the numbers.
I thought it had something to do with the Leafs.
No.
I thought, are they playing the Leafs in 6 games or
on
something?
Saturday.
This Saturday.
They're playing them on Saturday.
there you
If
go.
you save it for 946 against the Leafs, Stammer, I'll never forgive you. 945, 495, 505, 1000.
I don't think
it's
he
going to
gives-
be such a sexy stat line. Don't even talk to me.
He will be the 95th player to ever do it.
Oh, wow.
The closest player to 1,000 without actually hitting 1,000 with 995 points. Leafs, I'll never forgive you, Jason Spezza.
Ah,
It was the right thing.
assistant to the general manager. Jason
One
Spezza.
more year.
One
more
honestly,
year.
maybe they gear him up for the playoff drive. Have you seen him in the stands lately? Maybe he's in the gym.
There's no way.
Why not?
But maybe.
Why couldn't you?
Fucking
Why couldn't
great.
you? He can still skate. He wheels.
God, that'd be great.
A little depth going in the playoffs.
Adam, can I correct one thing you said earlier?
What?
You said Dave Morrison was Leafs guy.
Was he a head coach? Yeah.
So he is currently still the director of player personnel
for the Leafs.
for the Leafs.
But he was the head scout, wasn't he?
He's probably got a promotion.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, he works there. So
Yeah, that's good.
It's hockey.
Daver.
His name's
Jason
Dave.
Spezza, special assistant to the general manager. Cliff Fletcher is who I was thinking of, not Gord Stellick,
Oh,
who's
no.
still
Cliff Fletcher.
hanging around as senior advisor.
Yes, he still sits in the. I believe he still sits in the box.
Mhm.
Um,
He'd be yelling at the magnets going on the board.
absolutely. Ovechkin is within 8 goals of tying Gordie Howe for second place in all-time goals. Already,
That's so dumb.
it's dumb.
And didn't he break the record for most road goals? I saw some ridiculous thing of Ovechkin numbers, and
He's got 13 goals already. He's on pace for over 40.
he's gonna do it. He's gonna do
the
thing.
Gretzky thing, though, isn't he?
That's wild. It's wild.
He's going to do the Gretzky thing.
And he doesn't even need to be as dominant as he's been throughout his career to do it.
Most career goals scored on the road by a player in the NHL.
That's nuts.
Regular season history. Alexander Ovechkin has 403. Wayne Gretzky 402.
So Ovechkin has more road goals than home goals, which is wild.
We're probably
He's not at 800 yet.
Oh, Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. No, you're right.
We're probably at a point where he's going to get, where we're going to kick off the new year and he's going to beat that record. He's 8 goals away. In fact, he could do it this month. He could do it in December.
Oh yeah.
You could, if they're playing 12 or 13 games, he can do it.
Here's how goofy Ovechkin is. Which record are you talking about?
Gordy.
Oh, okay.
The only record.
Yeah, he's 8 goals.
Who cares about the other record? Oh, he's got the most away goals. No, we're caring about Gordy.
Most away goals matters.
I think what matters is he has 124 game winning goals. 124.
That's wild.
Flat out, he's won 124 games just on that.
No, he's not even at Patrick Marleau's level. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't Marleau have like the most game winning goals ever?
I don't know.
It's like him and Yager.
Sundin, I believe, had the most overtime goals in the regular season.
For a bit.
Most power play goals of all time, Alexander Ovechkin.
Already?
291. Oh, he's had this record for a little bit. Dave Anderchuk is at 274. Ovi is 291.
Okay.
Isn't that annoying that Anderchuk had 600 goals, held the record for power play goals, and still had to wait like 2 decades to get into the Hall? I don't know. That pissed me off. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer.
Brian Steve's gears.
He shouldn't get in because it's just because he was in the league for a long time. Yeah, that should also help him, not hinder him, you weirdos. Anyway.
Remember when we listed the...
He was just in the NHL for a long time. That's not special.
Are you? Is it weird that Ovi's a -12, by the way?
No. Caps
No.
Struggles.
Caps are stinky.
Remember when we did this list of the all-time goal scorers and you guys forgot Alexander Ovechkin?
Oh, no.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't
Sometimes
recall.
it's like he scores so many you don't even think about it. Right? Like it's just there. It's sort of like what we were talking about last episode where he just kind of stands with his stick in the air and everybody knows what's coming and yet everybody's like, wow, went in again.
Stands there with his baggy jersey and 2 long pants and yellow laces and tinted visor like an absolute tit. Best player on the ice.
If he didn't score so many goals, people would definitely make fun of his fit. For sure. Yeah. Like, especially hockey equipment nerds, they'd be all over him for this.
He shows up like the dude in House League who shows up late and gets in a fight.
Yeah.
4 penalties.
Late and gets in a fight.
5 goals. Like,
he got all his equipment from his older brother.
Yeah. Like just.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I think some media members might be listening to our podcast because unprompted, yesterday, somebody tweeted this amazing picture of Alexander Ovechkin from 2018, simply standing.
Just standing with the stick.
Honestly, with his stick in the air.
Remember when you could, he's not even moving. Like his knees aren't even bent.
The way
like he's not even going to, he knows he's not moving. He's like, this is where I'm going to be now.
He's one of the only players I can think of in my lifetime who plays the full 2 minutes of every power play because he moves so little.
Yes. Yeah. It's a little shuffle to, I always love watching him move too because it's not a skate. He sort of just shuffles.
Yeah.
He does a little, bang.
Before he retires, we need to get this player tracking shit figured out because Alex Ovechkin's player tracking, like how fast he skates and how much ice he covers, is going to be so funny. Like for everyone else, it's going to be like, on this power play, they covered 300 feet and 250 feet and 17 feet and 400 feet. Like Ovechkin moves less than the opposing goalie. Like I love him.
It's on his ability to get open. He's a master at it. He's a master at making you forget that he's there and getting to the open spot of the ice.
Like I want to zoom out to find the nearest. Look at that! There's no one within 20 feet of him. It's Alex Ovechkin. I love that. I love that so much. Who's that? Jason Bro. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, it's an incredible ability, and he's gonna do it for at least 101 more goals to pass Wayne Gretzky.
They're gonna do reverse retro in like 20 years, and that's gonna be the Caps logo. It's just Ovechkin standing stock still with his stick in the air. God, that's funny.
I love that. You know what? That should be the Caps logo.
That should be a t-shirt.
It should.
You know what would be the most annoying function of NHL ever is
Forgot to put it back on Siren.
Feel and all right. It's never too early to play holiday music, and it's never too early to start thinking about gifts, whether it's for a friend or for the friend that you carry with you in your pants.
Oh,
Manscaped.com.
I really didn't know which one.
/Dangle or promo code Dangle.
He doesn't mean you. Don't worry.
Do your little drummer boy a favor and get them the Lawnmower 4.0 to avoid another silent night in the bedroom.
Do you think the elf on the shelf is Manscaped?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I said the little friend in your pants.
Yeah.
And this is their little friend. But as you can see, they're not in
Do you
our
think
pants.
at night he's Manscaped?
I don't know, man. I don't
Maybe.
know.
No.
He probably goes back to the North Pole to report to Santa on something.
That's what he does.
And clean himself up.
And yeah,
Take a
and
shower.
get clean.
You don't even sleep.
Narc on a shelf.
Hey, add in Manscaped's top shower line products to have people thinking, all I want for Christmas is you. Santa cares about his sack, and so should you. Look nice. And get naughty by going to manscaped.com and use the promo code DANGLE for free shipping and 20% off.
Way to ruin Santa forever.
Okay, now, yesterday you may have seen that the city of Tempe voted unanimously in favor of a new Coyotes arena, baby!
Hooray!
Woo! The Arizona Coyotes and the Manula family are deeply thankful to the Tempe City Council for the unanimous support and cannot wait to move forward on this transformational development that is from Xavier Gutierrez. Our project will turn landfill into landmark, and one that will not only provides a wonderful home for the Coyotes, but also serves as a vibrant town square for Tempe, generating thousands of sustainable jobs and millions of dollars in tax revenue per year. Now, let's talk about the plan. Greg Wyshynski, by the way, was at the actual hearings, or he was watching them online, and I guess Glendale had better citizens, like more entertaining citizens coming up and talking into the microphone, as you,
No,
I'm
they
sure. Tempe had some wild ones.
Yeah. No, I had to watch the Glendale City Council meeting to cut highlights from it when I worked at CBC.
Oh, really?
One of the worst experiences of my life.
He said in terms of like, because you're always going to have, if you work at City Hall, you're always going to have people that will jump in on any hearing and say crazy shit.
What up, council?
Yeah. Remember the California guys? What up, council? So anyway, we were trying to party, and but I guess everybody was very well behaved at this one. The project summary: it is a $2.1 billion project, one of the largest developments in Arizona's history in terms of property development. It's a city landfill currently. 1.5 million tons of trash will be removed at a cost of $75 million. They're going to build a 16,000 plus seat arena, which will obviously be the home of the Coyotes and, concerts and things like that.
I didn't know they were serious about the landfill thing.
They are also
the project is named Landfill to Landmark.
Yeah.
I love that.
Coyotes practice facility, community amenity open to the public, and also youth hockey programs, which is cool. Which, honestly, for the Coyotes, I think that's going to be a real seller, because if you look at the Leafs, they have to drive all the way to Etobicoke to go to the Ford Performance Center, when I'm sure they could be like, if a lot of them live downtown, if you don't live in Toronto, the West End is always snarled with traffic. So being there on time has got to be a gigantic pain in the ass.
That's such a good point.
They need to change that. I've always thought that what the Leafs need to do is take Moss Park Arena in Moss Park, where I used to live. I used to be able to walk to that arena and play hockey, and none of the arenas in Toronto, just in the Toronto area, not the GTA, but just Toronto, have been updated since Expo 67. That's when most of them were built.
That's an old barn.
Moss Park, where we played hockey, all three of us played hockey there, hasn't been touched. It looks like something out of Slapshot. And if the Leafs were able to take over that, build an amazing community center, and obviously make that their performance center, heck of a lot easier and more central to downtown Toronto. That's one of the last places you have land. But
I think it's a little too, this is way too inside Toronto baseball, but I think it's a little too central to downtown in that there's no room around that area for things like parking and just getting around.
Right.
You
dig it down. I think you blow it up, dig down.
But I think on that tight city street, you don't want all of these pro athletes coming in all the time and
Right.
coming out.
Yeah,
I think because the Raptors have their practice facility at the exhibition grounds.
Yes.
You know where you get onto
Great
the
area.
the
Yeah.
OVO Athletic Center, they call it now.
Yeah.
That is perfect next to Medieval Times. There's a giant parking lot. It's a little obscured where it's a little south of everything that's kind of going on. You need something like that for the Leafs. I think.
And I think the NBA has a rule, and this is why there is parking underneath Scotiabank Arena, because it was supposed to be a basketball arena, and that was it. The NBA has a rule that every player has to have at least one parking spot. Every player. So they have built a parking spot underneath it. I don't know. I think the Leafs probably have to be looking at moving their performance closer.
I agree with that.
I would love to be a fly on the wall with any Arizona Coyotes fan listening to this going, oh my God, they made it about the Leafs.
Hadn't they learned their lessons already?
No.
It's always about the Leafs.
No,
There'll also be a restaurant row and retail center, so fine dining and boutique shopping, 2 hotels, convention style, and a boutique hotel. So there's obviously, you're going to have major conventions come in. Probably a lot from Canada, actually, I would think, for like Coyotes.
Maybe.
Private medical office campus with targeted tenancy. So they're thinking health, wellness, physical therapy. About 2,000 residential units, which is a 24/7, 365 live, work, play community. That's what they're trying to build. And a 3,500 person theater for smaller shows, performances, or activations. So that seems like a pretty amazing project. If you live in a place like that, you got to be excited about that.
It's something they need. It's something that's going to be great and wonderful. I've moved past the school thing. They're doing it. Here it is. I think it's super weird that a team in the best hockey league in the world is playing at a school for what is probably going to end up being 4 years. I think that's weird. I've always thought it was weird. That ship has sailed. This project will be great for the state, the city, everyone.
Absolutely.
Fans.
Well, and let me read you this. And if you're a Calgary Flames fan, plug your ears because you're going to hate this. The majority of it is privately funded. The total cost
privately funded. That's not what I expected you to say.
That's why I said if you're a Flames fan, plug your ears. Because remember, Calgary's arena deal fell apart because of inflation. Weirdly, I don't know why they didn't plan for that. But the arena deal fell because the city was going to do 50%. And their cheap ass owner was going to do another 50%. And then the cheap ass owner said, no, you got to do more. And the Calgary City Council rightly said, no, we're not going to do that. Now, in this particular case, the privately funded costs are going to be 1.9 of the estimated $2.1 billion. So that's roughly 93% of it. The arena, headquarters and practice facility, music theater, retail, hotel, residential, office, all of that will be privately funded. The public cost will be estimated right now at $209 million, but will not exceed, this is the guarantee, $229 million. And that covers things like roads and toilets and, like plumbing, all the other stuff that electric that needs to go in. That is a public domain thing. Now, it's interesting that obviously Tempe is obviously going to foot that bill. But what I like about this is there's a ceiling. Like this is the most it will cost. Otherwise, I would assume privately they have to kick up the rest of the money.
Pony up. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great, man. Like from the beginning, this was always going to be great for Tempe if it goes through. And it's hasn't been voted on yet. City Council voted on it. Now it's going to go to referendum.
Yes.
For the whole city. I imagine it'll pass.
I think it'll pass. Now, Gary Bettman spoke. He said it will shine.
Boo!
It will
Shut up.
This was a big deal because Bettman and Daly were there.
No one wants to hear from you. Boo.
It will shine a light on Tempe. We will bring league events here, whether it's an all-star game or a draft. That's our commitment to you if this project goes forward. What I love is that he won't commit to either. We will bring league events here, whether it's an all-star game or a draft. He is committed to neither. Have you see that? Right? You guys heard that, right?
Also,
league events. Wow, we brought games. Those are league events.
That is
in 5 years, said Gary.
That is a kid slamming a bunch of change on the table saying, what can I get for this many? We're talking about what was it? The $2.1 billion. Sorry, $2.1 billion project. And yeah, we'll bring you the draft and all-star game.
They didn't say that, though. He said whether it's X or Y.
Let's say they get both. Let's say they get both.
Yeah.
Do you know how much that generates? Shut up.
I think the All-Star game would be the right thing to do. As much as I think the draft is cool, I think the All-Star game is going to get new fans in. And I think what Gary should have done is just said, like, listen, when the project's done, we'll give him the All-Star game the next year.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
I think it's a little far to make that commitment, but I think it'll happen.
If Gary Bettman is still in charge to keep that promise, I'm going to be pissed.
That's also a very good point.
He will be in charge.
Jesus.
When the Arizona Coyotes play their first game in Tempe, I hope he's long gone.
Mm-hmm.
That will not be the case because his
God,
contract
please
will not
retire.
based on the timelines of this construction project.
4 years?
Yeah, about 4 years from today. Gary will still be under contract. He's got 4 years left on his deal, and
Simply awful.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that if there is a lockout like we think there could be, it will happen the season that arena is due to open.
That is going to be a lot of Coyotes fans' Joker origin story.
100%.
Like, I'm begging him.
Like
on
Craig
my
Morgan on the
hands and
phone,
knees.
like, this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Like, I would feel that at that point you have to feel terrible. Like, I don't know how you could feel worse for what Coyotes fans have been put through, but at that point you have to be like, that's just ridiculous. And you know what would be funny though? In a weird way, it would be Gary hoisting himself by his own petard, right? It would be like
not for the first
the team that this is staying.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally got an arena, and then it's like, no season.
No.
That might be the best negotiating point the players have, is the fact that it's like, you need the Coyotes to play this year. We know you do.
Here's what's going to happen. Gary Bettman has resigned and retired. Yes! To be replaced by Bill Daly. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible.
Let me know if this is what I think is going to happen. Let me know if you guys think this makes sense. We get to, is it 2028? Because they renewed it for 1 year during the pandemic, right? They extended the CBA for 1 year. So is the lockout the 2027 season or 2028?
Oh, 5, isn't
25.
it?
25?
Yeah, 25, 26, I think.
NHL CBA.
Actually, maybe that's a year later. Maybe he did it perfectly.
The NHL ratified a 4-year extension to the CBA through the 2025-2026 season.
So 26-27
would be the locked out year.
Which would, I think, mean, if my numbers are right,
23, 24, 25, 26, 26, 27.
3 years.
No, but it's 4 years from now.
Mm.
From this very moment.
From this
So we
moment.
would-
I think that might be, their first year in that building.
Damn.
We might still be a year away from that, though.
Man,
Yes.
Coyotes fans, we love you. You deserve better.
So this is what I think happens with Bettman. He has a 4-year deal, right? So he's going to stick
4
around.
years left. 4 years.
4 years left on the deal.
Yeah,
I think
because he
sticks
signed
around.
a 5-year deal last year.
Yeah.
During the Kyle Beach situation, by the way.
So I think he sticks around through the lockout because that's his specialty.
Yep.
Like when we're saying lockout, we don't know a lockout's going to happen. We just probably think it's going to happen.
He's great at not letting the league play hockey. He's awesome at it.
Exactly. So we think that 26-27 season is to be locked out. I think he does that, and then he sticks around for 2 more years, and that's his like piece de resistance. You know, that's his end game. I locked him out one last time,
Right.
and I got an even harder salary cap.
It's quadruple hard. It's triple hard now. It's
Also-
quadruple.
Now every NHL player must go through my approval. Either you get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether you're allowed to be on a team.
You know what'd be great is it's like, okay, so your first contract, your entry-level contract is followed by your sub-entry-level contract. So you sign for 3 years as an entry-level, and then you have to make less because it's your sub-entry level, and then you can hit free
This
agency.
should be a conversation
Losers.
about why we should be excited about that fucking building. And
That honestly, no, but I'm serious. I'm excited about that building because I think it's going to prevent a lockout. Because they're going to put that much money into it, and then Bettman's going to be like, yeah, no, we're not playing games. I don't think so.
No,
he hasn't fought this long. This is the crown jewel in the Gary Bettman arsenal. The Arizona succeeding is
that.
Arizona.
good. I hope he's crushed.
Arizona
he doesn't
succeeding.
deserve to be proud of himself. at the end
Arizona
of his
succeeding,
career.
which listen, we all want that. It's not like we don't want it. It's just always been improbable. and it's been on life support for years until now.
Remember, the city of Tempe did not renew their lease with a professional sports team. Glendale did not renew their lease with a professional sports team, which is supposed to be the thing that just prints money in North America.
Yes.
Because this team was so
listen, the Coyotes, listen, we've made fun of the Coyotes organization a lot. Retire. They might be the thing that saves us.
Please retire.
No. Do you guys, I think he retires 2 years after that. And that's where he ends out. He sticks around for that lockout. And then they work on a succession plan after that 27-28 season.
And you know what would happen
Does that
then?
make sense?
Then they would induct him into the Hall of... Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
He's already in.
Dude, he's 70 now. Retire.
Yo, man, at 70, I straight up don't want to be working. If it's at all possible.
70?
I want to be golfing with Jesse. That's what I want to be doing. I want to be old. Are you going to golf? Do you golf? Are you going to golf with us?
No, Steve gets too upset.
I want to be talking about the old times and how these young kids, they just don't know hard
Steve
work. That's what I want to do.
No. We're going to have a foursome of people golfing.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, me, Jesse, my chiropractor, to make sure that I last all 18 holes.
You're supposed to be able to golf till you're old because it's easier on your joints.
Yes, no.
You also said you fixed your back.
No, it is. Well, now my neck's fucked.
Well, because he moved a fridge.
I did.
Guy with bad back's like, yeah, I'll move a fridge.
And my back's fine, but it's more of a shoulder neck thing. I'm fine. I'm on the mend.
Roope Hintz signs a fabulous contract for both him and the Dallas Stars. This is a great deal. 8 years, $67.6 million. He's been unbelievable this year. 24 points in 22 games with Robertson and Pavelski. What a line. He had 38 goals last year in 80 games. And this is a guy who was a 49th overall pick. Listen, I'm sure they expected that he had a high ceiling, but I'm not sure they were expecting this. And he's been spectacular. $8.45 million starting next year. And what I want to say about the Dallas Stars is it's been fascinating because remember, this is a team that 2 years ago was in the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
They were playing smothering defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then they missed the playoffs.
With a backup goalie.
With a backup goalie. They missed the playoffs because they had like half the team go down with COVID and whatever. This team is replacing its core with a new, potentially better core without even missing a step. Like, take COVID out of it. The Dallas Stars are a playoff team a couple seasons ago, not years ago. After the Stanley Cup, that next season, they're a playoff team had that COVID shutdown not happen. And then what I mean is that they had to shut the entire team down because there's an outbreak. I think it's amazing what's happening here because Seguin and Ben are on their way out, still playing well enough.
Ben's having a resurgence.
Yeah.
Seguin had one, and he's still
But they used to be the core, along with Spezza. Yeah. Now they've replaced those guys. That is amazing. They've done it without tanking.
It's the most seamless transition from core to core I've seen in recent memory. And Miro Heiskanen, like their identity is just Finnish. First of all, they're all Finnish, and except for Jason Robertson, who I'm sure we'll find out he's Finnish somehow.
Yeah.
Can I list them?
Yeah, sure.
It's Finnish players on the Dallas Stars: Roope Hintz, Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, Jani Hakanpää, Kiviranta. Up and down the lineup.
Fucking Kiviranta.
5 Finnish players.
Love
Insane.
That. Love that. Like they're just underrated. Like all of them are underrated.
And they found, I think, if not an all-star this year, then a future all-star in Jake Ottinger in the first round.
Yep.
Drafting goalies in the first round. Who'd have thunk it?
Where did Jason Robertson, second round, 39th overall?
Yeah, both Robertson brothers.
Insane. Yeah. It's unbelievable the way they've been able to find this talent. Not like, I guess Heiskanen's was 3rd overall, which is
he's the only one though.
There's an easy one on the board, but he's the only one. They've been really good at finding this talent and rebuilding on the fly. It's been crazy impressive. And Jake Ottinger, he's the backbone.
He is. Listen, man, I don't know.
Sure is.
Where is Dallas without him though? Honestly, like really,
Scott Wedgewood has been just fine.
Yeah, but are they?
I thought Wedgewood was the perfect
Steve.
Number 2, 3 guy.
No, Adam, but this is about Scott Wedgewood.
Yeah, he's been super fine.
No, but he had to fill in for Ottinger when he was hurt.
He did.
I made a good point.
You did.
Fuck the both of you.
But what I'm saying, all I'm asking for is for you to back me up on Jake Ottinger is great. And you're like, no, I'm going to Twitter you.
Don't you wish?
But actually, Scott Wedgewood.
for Steve, I don't know why he decided to go this route when we were talking about how great Jake Ottinger has only been 5-4. He's 5-4-1.
500 as the backup.
5-4-1 with a 906.
Above 900.
He's been
Thank you for proving my point.
He's been an adequate backup goalie for 10 games.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, no. The adequate backup goalie is the reason the Stars are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish. Don't you wish this was Hockey Night in Canada? I make a point, and then two of the other people on the panel jump on me, and I go, "Fuck the both of you."
I do actually.
I just want Kevin BX to go. You know what? Fuck that.
Listen,
fuck that.
Jake Ottinger's 8-2.
They're good people, but I do.
And the Stars have an additional 5 thanks to Scott Wedgewood.
I do wish the Hockey Night in Canada panels were allowed to disagree with each other. It seems like sometimes they want to go there.
They do.
Well, not really.
If you want to go on a rant, you let me hide behind this tree.
Oh, I'm just saying. I wish they would, because I love when they do banter. You see flashes of it, you're like, oh, there.
I don't think they're allowed to say fuck though.
Probably not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. Maybe when they do Hockey Night in Canada digital, because for whatever reason in digital,
when Netflix buys all the rights.
Doesn't exactly.
Just watch Hockey Night in Canada.
Can you?
Steve?
I know, but can you swear?
Well, we had an F-bomb this past week.
Yes, but that wasn't you.
That was an accident.
Yeah.
And
By the way, you're not doing a game this weekend, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Has the Saturday off.
Are you allowed to swear?
They
highly encourage you not to, right?
Yeah, there's no CRTC regulations on YouTube, right? So
you could, yeah.
In theory, you could, but I don't know. I know there's a lot of parents who watch and everything.
It's unnecessary for kids. Yeah.
It's unnecessary. What a fucking pass! It's just you don't need to do it. Some would say I don't need to fucking do it here. Sorry.
Some would say that, but fuck them.
Fuck you for disrespecting Scott Wedgewood.
I have been beyond impressed with the Dallas Stars.
Especially Scott Wedgewood.
Your one good goalie take.
What? Jake Ottinger is amazing?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are the Dallas Stars in the Detroit Red Wings in the standings?
They're in the playoffs. They're in the second wild card. First wild card.
Ville Husso has
because of Nedeljkovic.
Ville Husso has had 2 bad games all season. That's it. He's had 2 really mediocre games. One was versus the Leafs, and the other one was, I think he allowed 6 goals a couple weeks ago.
He got pulled before the halfway mark.
I'm just saying, the Red Wings have been fantastic. They're in a playoff spot. They're ahead of a lot of teams that a lot of people didn't think they'd be ahead of. The Red Wings should be very proud of their future. What they're doing this season.
Do the Red Wings have a Nedeljkovic problem? Because he started 6 games this year, 2-3-1. Mm-hmm. Goals against average is over 4. Now, I realize it's small sample size, but that's still not great.
It's small sample because they won't play him.
His save percentage is .880. Damn, we got to stop doubting whatever the Carolina Hurricanes have. Yeah. Stop doubting Don Waddell and Rod Brindamore. It's the last bad thing I ever say. Last year was all high and mighty. I cannot believe that they would just give up Nedeljkovic like that.
Just block their number.
Well, yeah. Don't ever pick up the phone.
It's crazy that Nedeljkovic has been so bad, and yet the Red Wings are good because of their other goalie? Mm. Oh, that's crazy. Who's their other goalie, guys?
Billy
Husso!
Oh, Jesus.
Shit. I was trying to think of who their third
You just blew that guy's speaker, man.
That's who it is.
Very loud. All right.
Just so people know.
Bang on the table some more.
He's very good. Outside of one game versus the Leafs and another game that I watched and wasn't good.
I've only seen one game. He wasn't very good. He's been bad in every Red Wings game I've watched this year.
That's a good point.
Why don't we do the press conference, boys? The holidays are almost here, and there is plenty of t-shirt cheer thanks to our sponsor, True Classic. That's right, fellas. We got the perfect gift for you. True Classic are a gift for you, for her, and a great present for any guy in your life. True Classic's on a mission to maximize men's confidence. If you're rocking that Santa bod, True Classics might be the miracle you've been waiting for. Almost all men's tees are designed to look great for certain body types outside of just the one body type that every other store makes them for, which is kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So True Classic has already helped 2 million men feel and look their best, and you can save big while you do so as well. Get 25% off True Classic with our exclusive link, at trueclassic.com/dangle. That's right. And the discount doesn't stop there. You'll save even more during the site-wide sale. Support our show, and you can check them out at trueclassic.com/dangle.
And when you get there, it'll say, your discount from Steven Dangle will be
Whoa.
applied at checkout.
Steven.
with a PH.
No, hell no.
Steph Dangle.
Never.
Want to bet? You can do so at Sports Interaction. It's Canada's sportsbook. Every hockey, football, basketball game at your fingertips. And, of course, the World Cup. A lot of footy, right, Steve?
I don't.
A lot of kits, right, Steve?
Footy and pitch, and they lost, so I'm sad.
And what do you call a goalie, Steve?
Keeper.
No, you call it a goalie, according to you, anyway.
Well,
this show. Bet pregame, live and play are one of the many prop bets made for Canadians by Canadians. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see that all that sports betting has to offer. SportsInteraction.com/SDPN. That's SportsInteraction.com/SDPN. Ontario only. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Our favorite coach that loves
Chippy?
to make noise is making noise once again. And I'd like to bring him to the table because the Philadelphia Flyers are
I forgot.
the team that we all thought they were going to be. Even though to start the year, they're like, hey guys, we're going to play really hard and we're going to win a bunch of games that we shouldn't be winning. They have regressed back to what they truly are and went on a 10-game losing streak that they finally snapped last night. But within that 10-game winning streak, John Tortorella said, okay, I'm going to do that thing that I've done for my entire career where I make it about me. So it's less about the players and a little less pressure on it. It's a tactic, you know? It's a thing he does that's very distinct. He makes it about himself so that the players don't have to take all of the brunt of the problem. But this time, he decided to go at one of his players to make it about himself.
Who's that?
And he compared Morgan Frost to a toilet seat.
Why is that?
Not good.
What's the context?
He's not very good right now, Morgan Frost. But John Tortorella said this. When asked just how he can improve the team's puck possession and general play throughout the lineup, he gave a clear enough answer on how to develop some of these talents. It's skill. We're talking about skill, Tortorella said. Offense, you can manufacture and go through some of your systems to manufacture offense. When it's a God-given skill, it's kind of up to the player to develop. And we're just going to try and keep putting, especially now with the injuries, we put in those opportunities and see if they're get more comfortable. You look at Frosty. I still think he's up and down like a toilet seat here. As far as you see him coming, then he dips, and then you see him coming. Hopefully, it levels out and keeps going in the proper direction, because he's supposed to be a skilled guy. You can see it's there, but it's very inconsistent.
Skilled player?
Mm-hmm.
Coach isn't happy with him?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Jesse.
What?
Do you know who Morgan Frost played for?
Who?
Well, he's a Philadelphia Flyer. He was drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers, you see. But before that, he played in the Canadian Hockey League, the OHL to be specific.
For whomst?
The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. And that dude is going to be a Leaf by February. Mark it down.
By the way,
Mark it down.
my coldest take this year is putting the Flyers in my top 5 but at the time they were one of the best teams in the league.
I don't know why you did that.
I did it because they were, and now they're not.
You were throwing him a bone.
Yeah.
Just say it.
I was.
Here you go, guys. I'm trying to be nice. And they poof into the Earth's crust. Morgan Frost is going to be a Leaf.
Like it. I like it a
Psychedelic
lot.
Sundays. Q107.
It's an odd choice of words to say that one of your players is up and down like a toilet seat. Like, we get that his play is erratic. It's a little different when you say that to the media in a toilet seat euphemism.
He loves a good toilet-related comment because he talked about Artemi Panarin needing to poop. Remember that?
No.
When he was with the Blue Jackets?
No.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I think he was basically like, yeah, he's got food poisoning or something. He was shitting all day yesterday. To which everyone responded, you didn't need to tell us that, Tori. Oh, did you find it?
No, I didn't want to talk about that at all. I was trying to move on to the other story.
What do we have? I forgot to bring up the Flyers. That's my bad.
That's okay. I thought the other story that I thought we should touch on as well is in the same general vicinity of the Northeast. The New York Rangers have been struggling as of late. And are you guys concerned about the Rangers? Because Igor Shesterkin has not done what he did last year, in that when the third and fourth lines are getting really hemmed in and not performing at their best, which I think is a lot of the reasons they're not great, he hasn't been able to keep everything steady and level. He hasn't been Vezina Igor. And he said it himself when he said, Igor Shesterkin put the Rangers' struggles squarely on his shoulders. Goalie played fucking the shitty game again. I guess with the explicitive that was bleeped out. Goalie played shitty game again. I feel so bad and play so bad. I'm ashamed. Every goal is easy play for me. I have to stop those. If our team wants to win the game, I have to play better. Now, the whole team's struggles aren't on Igor, but Igor has also not been Vezina Igor, where he props up the team that's a little weaker and he can make them win some games that they shouldn't be winning. Are you guys concerned about the Rangers?
Who said this in their season preview?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Steve, do you remember someone who took a lot of shit for saying this in their season preview?
I just remember someone went way out of their way to come up with the hot take of a team that finished in the Final Four was going to win the cup. And then they started to underachieve because they didn't sign Villiuso this offseason to give Shesterkin the support that he needs.
I never brought Villiuso into this.
You sure did. You were like, nope, the reigning Vezina guy needs the biggest free agent goalie after Jack Campbell.
Yes.
Oh my God. To the team. Yeah. I just think it's funny.
Are you guys concerned about this team?
I don't think
they're 500. They shouldn't be 500.
They'll sort it out. But I don't think I did say in the season preview episode that if he doesn't play like that, they're not as good. Which is hot take.
Can I be an old man?
There are cracks in that foundation.
Can I be an old man?
Sure.
When the Rangers blew a 3-0 lead to the Oilers, which the Oilers tend to do, and then the Oilers scored the go-ahead goal, Draisaitl punked one of the Rangers by pushing his stick out of his hand. Who was it?
Trouba?
And it's Trouba?
No, Trouba took a run at Draisaitl, I know, but I don't know if he was the one who initially got.
You stop trying to win that game immediately and jump every Oiler on the ice. I'm sorry. That's how that's got to go down. As long as fighting's legal in the NHL, that's what you got to do. Can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Because then people say dorky things like, oh, see, first game without Ryan Reeves and this happens. Yeah, Jesse's got it up on the screen.
It was Trouba.
And it's your cap. That can't happen. Can't happen.
A lot. So the Rangers blogs, if you're on the Rangers blogs, like, us big Rangers fans are,
huge.
They weren't happy with Trouba's lack of response to Draisaitl knocking his stick out of his hands. It's not a good look for the team,
dude.
Who's fighting it right now.
If someone did that to John Tavares, Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau would have already commented on it.
Yeah,
like I can't believe that's not a bigger story. What a pathetic thing for the Rangers to do. Like, well, they give up the 3-0 lead. But believe me, I'm a Leaf fan. Don't worry about it. It happens. But that can't happen. You can't just let that happen. Not a good look.
Jesse, what else we got?
I'm just a little sad at my Rangers. We'll get it back.
They will.
I think
they're too good not to. They will get it.
We will right the ship. We will be back in this Final Four once again on our way to the Stanley Cup.
They'll be out of Trouba soon.
Hey, ooh.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
Oh,
this is
breaking balls.
This is from a user on our Discord named Out Cold Ox. Stump the Steve question. Adam, okay. They said Adam may help.
Adam never can, but I'll try.
Permission to help.
Yeah. That's not true.
It's very true.
They write, the Leafs franchise has had 40 head coaches.
Jeez.
Steve?
Yes.
Can you name 20 of them?
Oh, I'll try.
Okay, give me a second.
Probably not.
Give me a second to pull up Leafs head coaches.
Oh, man.
Oh, Sheldon Keefe. There's free square.
Well, yeah.
It's gonna be hard to track.
Do you have the list?
I do. I've pulled up the Wikipedia entry.
Do you have the timer?
How much time do you want? It's up to you.
What do you think? You're the producer.
Yeah.
Also, make
No,
sure the
you
timer
guys-
works this time.
Yeah, remember that one time I did, and that was embarrassing.
I sure do. You
I
want to use my phone?
I moved off the I had moved off the webpage. Remember? Okay, Adam, how much time do you think?
Oh man, I don't know. Somebody was really mad at us because they're like, I feel like Stump. I think we need Steve to do longer.
90 seconds.
There you go.
A minute and a half.
like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why I want you to decide, so that because it's a bar where you think you can get 20 in. You think you can do it in 90 seconds?
I don't know. Let's
Okay.
try.
All right, let's
do
try. 90 seconds on the board. Go.
Sheldon Keefe, Mike Babcock, Paul Maurice, Randy Carlisle,
Peter Horchak.
Peter Horchak. Thank you. Did I say Ron Wilson?
Nope.
Oh, Ron Wilson.
Pat
right
Quinn.
before Paul Maurice or after Paul Maurice? Pat Quinn. Pat Burns.
Mike Murphy.
Mike Murphy. There was a guy.
Roger Nielsen.
Yeah, Roger Nielsen. There was a guy who was like
Hap Day, I think, was a coach.
intermittent. Was Hap Day,
Hap
actually?
Day was a coach.
Punch
yeah.
Imlach
Punch Imlach.
Is
Several times.
is an easy one.
And that goes back, and those are all the guys I know, because that goes back to like,
You're at 12.
how many do we need to? How many? Are we
8
supposed to have?
more.
8 more.
Yeah, there's 40 guys.
Okay, so Horacek was interim.
That counts.
Yeah.
No, we already did him.
Oh, you said Horchak.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So Horacek was interim after Carlisle. I'm trying to think. Like Maurice was off season. He was fired. Wilson went straight into Carlisle.
Who was the guy before Pat Burns?
Oh, who did?
Like the 80s coaches, I just do not know.
No. Who did John Ferguson Jr. fire Pat Quinn for?
Paul Maurice.
Was it? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, because he was the Marlies head coach.
Yeah.
Who's before Pat Quinn?
I forget the
It's
guy's
Mike Murphy.
name.
Oh, yeah, you already got
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
And then before
was
that,
Mike
it was
Murphy?
There's a timer. All right, so you got 13. 13's pretty good.
Oh, Brophy? Wasn't
John
there a
Brophy. Fuck me. That was in the 80s.
Yeah, that's in the middle there. Yeah, so I'll give you 14. You can have
Okay.
14. Yeah, he was in 1986. After Brophy was Armstrong, George Armstrong.
George Armstrong was head coach
See,
of the Leafs.
For 1 year.
The 80s Leafs are just a total loss. And there were some good
How
players.
didn't I know that?
Eddie Olchuk, Vinny Damphus. They had some really, really good players that they oddly traded. And I think actually the early 90s Leafs could have been better had they not made those trades. Specifically, a disastrous one for them, although they turned it into something good. If they'd kept Damphus, so then you have Gilmore and Damphus as your top 2 centers instead of trading for Grant Fuhr, but they didn't know what they had in Felix Potvin.
They had no
And
idea.
And I believe they traded Grant Fuhr to Buffalo for Dave Andreychuk.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, why haven't the Leafs won a Stanley Cup in 140 years?" And it's like because they were fucking ass.
They were
the way
ass.
they ran their franchise for a good substantial period.
Yeah, honestly,
decades and decades, the Leafs ran a terrible franchise.
1982, maybe the most unbreakable record in the Leafs franchise. Penalty minutes by a rookie. Bob McGill, 263.
Oh, that's a lot.
No one's ever going
No,
to
it's
get that.
You guys
in a
want some of these
season ever
names
again.
that you didn't remember?
Yeah, give it to me.
King Clancy, Red Kelly, Punch Imlach.
But we got Imlach. We did
You
get
didn't
Imlach.
get Conn Smythe.
King Clancy.
Conn Smythe makes sense.
Conn
Yeah, why
Smythe
did we
was-
get that?
See, I thought he was just the owner.
Yeah, Conn
No, head coach.
Oh, shit.
No, he he trained them like they were in the military too. They dug trenches and shit. Like that's how they used to train. Crazy.
There's Dan Maloney,
Nope.
Tom Watt.
Nope.
Tom Watt was before Pat Burns, and then after Pat Burns was Nick Beverly
I've heard of the
for
name.
17 games.
Oh, come on.
Howie Meeker.
Yep.
Oh, Howie
Also played
Meeker.
for them.
Yeah.
I believe the last Leaf before Matthews to win the Calder.
Art Duncan.
Would not have never heard that name in my life.
John Primo.
He was a broadcaster. for
Primo
them,
was in
I
the
think.
80s, I think.
1950 to 1953. Joe
Wow.
Primo.
Idiot.
Uh,
Wait, he was one of the kid line. with Sil Apps, wasn't he? It was Sil Apps, Joe Primo.
He was the head coach. I don't know.
I have no idea.
He won a Stanley Cup as head coach in 1951.
Let's go.
Yeah. Dick Irving.
Oh. Yeah, man.
Mike Rodden. Eddie Powers.
Nope.
Frank Carroll.
Nope.
First ever head coach in Toronto Maple Leafs history, 1917. Head coach was Dick Carroll.
I believe you.
Wow.
You could have said any name. Any name.
What was it with back then? With, everybody was Dick.
There was a lot of dicks on this
No
list.
Rickies, just Dicks.
Eggory Gregory
That's right.
the third.
You know what? We'll wrap it there, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
How's that? How's that? A lot of coaches. A lot of names we'd never heard of.
What about Sil McGillicuddy?
It could have been, man. You don't know. Don't make fun. Don't make fun. They could have been dug up somewhere. He was the coach for a game. And they before the forward pass rule, and they won it 19-6. When you remember? Like some of those scores from pre-goalie pads and pre-forward pass are a little bit cartoonish. Anyway, listen.
Can I give you an update on something that happened last episode?
Sure.
So remember last episode you were talking about famousbirthdays.com and celebrity salaries and that sort of stuff?
Sure.
We got a update from a user on the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, net worth, yes.
Yeah, net worth and that sort of stuff. Tilted1013 writes, I wanted to give some insight for Adam on his website curiosity. My sister moved from Nebraska to Santa Monica to be the live-in nanny for the guy who owns famousbirthdays.com.
No way!
She lived
out of here.
She lived in their guest house by the beach and was given a BMW 3 Series as her going around town errand car. So I'd say they make pretty good money.
They're doing okay.
Wow.
What are the odds?
That's unbelievable. What? Oh, my God. The
Wow.
world is this small.
Yeah,
It's so tiny.
It's this small.
That's one of those things where if you were around in the internet in like 2001 and you were on like the .com boom and you just got famousbirthdays.com, you're set.
Except for
Like you just turn that into something and you're good. And
Yep.
this is a person who clearly
well
did
done.
that.
Well done. And they got a BMW to just toot around town.
Well,
Nice.
the nanny did.
Nanny did, yeah. Oh, I'm sure they're driving something else. Yeah. Wow. So, it never, like, anything we bring up, we're like, how does this work? And people are like,
Here's firsthand experience for how this works. Oh, yeah. You want some information on that website? I know someone who lived with the owner. What?
The Steve Dangle Podcast.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada's Sportsbook.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.